It is 2:17 a.m. The Persian Gulf, 118 nautical miles due south of the Iranian port of Bandar Abbas, in international waters where the ocean runs 87 meters deep and the operational environment compresses every tactical timeline in ways that open ocean planning assumptions simply do not account for. The Persian Gulf is not the Pacific. It is not the Atlantic. It is a body of water approximately 240 nautical miles wide at its broadest point and barely 35 miles wide at the Strait of Hormuz, enclosed on three sides by coastlines that are close enough to matter in every tactical calculation involving any weapon with a range greater than a deck-mounted machine gun. The Iranian coastline is never out of sensor range in this water. The mountains behind Bandar Abbas are visible on a clear day from the deck of any ship transiting the Central Gulf shipping lane. This is not an environment that rewards complacency. It is an environment that punishes it, specifically and immediately. And every officer who has ever commanded a surface warship in the Persian Gulf knows this in the particular way that knowledge becomes operational instinct after enough time in the watch rotation. USS Porter, DDG-78, is conducting an independent patrol tasking in the central Persian Gulf, operating under Fifth Fleet authority and executing the kind of persistent maritime presence mission that American destroyers have maintained in this body of water without interruption since the administration of George H.W. Bush. She is an Arleigh Burke-class Flight IIA guided missile destroyer, 9,200 tons full load, 96 VLS cells, AN/SPY-1D, V, phased array radar, full Aegis combat system in its current block upgrade configuration, 2 Phalanx CIWS mounts, 2 Mark 38 25mm chain guns, and a 5-inch Mark 45 Mod 4 naval gun forward. Her crew of 281 sailors has been on station in the Persian Gulf for 31 days. Her commanding officer has 22 years in surface warfare and has conducted 3 previous Gulf deployments. His tactical action officer has 13 years of service and knows the AN/SLQ 32 Electronic Warfare Systems threat library well enough to recite emission parameters from memory for the 47 most common IRGCN radar systems. These are not soft numbers. They are the accumulation of professional experience that the United States Navy acquires by being in this water continuously, year after year, across administrations and policy cycles and regional crises, always present, always watching. At 2:17 a.m., the watch team in USS Porter's Combat Information Center is not watching the Iranian coastline with the relaxed attention of a crew performing routine surveillance. They are watching it with the specific, heightened focus that A signals intelligence advisory from Fifth Fleet Headquarters, received at 1:40 a.m., has directed them to bring to the watch. The advisory, based on collection from multiple intelligence sources whose identities and methods are classified, but whose products are distributed to ships operating in the Gulf within the appropriate threat windows, indicated elevated communications activity at IRGCN facilities associated with the Khalij Fars ballistic missile system in the Bandar Abbas area. Elevated communications activity consistent with pre-launch checklist sequencing. Not conclusive. Not a confirmed launch warning. Consistent. And in the vocabulary of tactical intelligence, consistent is the word that puts commanding officers in their CICs at 1:40 in the morning and keeps them there. The Khalij Fars. This weapon requires the kind of detailed technical examination that its designers in Iran's Ministry of Defense have clearly not received adequate counterpart analysis on, because the engineering problem they attempted to solve with the Khalij Fars is real. The solution they arrived at is partially functional, and the specific ways in which that solution fails against a properly equipped and properly warned surface ship are operationally decisive. Let us be precise. The Khalij Fars, the name translates as Persian Gulf, is Iran's indigenous anti-ship ballistic missile. It is derived from the Fateh 110 short-range ballistic missile, a solid-fueled weapon with a range of approximately 300 kilometers, modified to carry a 650-kilogram warhead and equipped with a seeker system that activates during the terminal phase of the missile's ballistic trajectory to home on large surface targets. Iranian state media announced the Khalij Fars with considerable enthusiasm in 2011, describing it as a revolutionary weapon that rendered American aircraft carriers vulnerable to Iranian ballistic missile strikes and fundamentally changed the naval balance of power in the Persian Gulf. The announcement was accompanied by footage of what appeared to be a successful test against a surface target. Iranian defense officials described the weapon as Iran's answer to American naval dominance in the Gulf. Here is what the Khalij Fars actually is, assessed against the physics of the problem rather than the politics of the announcement. The weapon is a modified Fateh 110 ballistic missile with a terminal guidance system, either an electro-optical or radar seeker, depending on the variant. Iranian state media has described both, that activates at some altitude during the terminal descent to acquire and home on a surface ship. The Fateh 110 is a genuine ballistic missile with genuine range and genuine destructive potential if its warhead reaches the target. The terminal guidance seeker is a genuine attempt to solve the fundamental problem of all anti-ship ballistic missiles. A ship moves between the time the targeting solution is built and the time the warhead arrives, and a missile with no terminal update capability will hit the water where the ship was, not where it is. The terminal seeker theoretically solves this problem. In theory. In the operational conditions of a combat engagement against a prepared surface ship, whose Aegis combat system is in full ballistic missile defense mode, whose electronic warfare suite is actively jamming every seeker frequency the intelligence community has assessed as associated with the Khalij Fars terminal guidance system, and whose commanding officer has been in his CIC for 37 minutes, acting on a pre-launch warning. The terminal seeker faces a considerably more demanding environment than an Iranian test range provides. At 2:17:33 a.m., SBIRS, the space-based infrared system constellation, detected a launch event from a location in the Bandar Abbas area, consistent with the IRGCN Khalij Fars deployment site that 5th Fleet Intelligence had flagged in the 1:40 a.m. advisory. The infrared signature of a Fateh 110 derivative's solid rocket motor at ignition is large, brief, and unambiguous, a thermal event that SBIRS detects within seconds of motor ignition and uplinks to the tactical network immediately. The uplink reached USS Porter's Aegis combat system at 2:17:41 a.m., 8 seconds after launch. 1 Khalij Fars, bearing 341, estimated impact area in the central Persian Gulf in approximately 4 minutes and 20 seconds, based on Fateh 110 flight performance parameters. At 2:17:49 a.m., 16 seconds after launch, a second SBIRS detection. Second Khalij Fars, same launch area, bearing 341, 8-second stagger on the first. 2 missiles. The same approach corridor. A salvo attack. The stagger was calculated to complicate the defensive engagement sequence. 2 missiles arriving within approximately 8 seconds of each other, forcing the fire control system to manage simultaneous engagements rather than sequential ones. This is textbook anti-ship ballistic missile saturation doctrine, applied at the smallest meaningful scale. 2 missiles, 2 simultaneous engagement tracks, forcing the Aegis system to allocate fire control resources across 2 targets at once. The IRGCN planner who designed this salvo understood the problem of BMD engagement capacity. What he did not understand, what he could not have understood without access to the classified performance parameters of the Aegis BMD block upgrade, currently installed aboard USS Porter, is that 2 simultaneous Khalij Fars engagements are not at the edge of that system's capacity. They are well within it. In the CIC, the commanding officer had the SBIRS data within 4 seconds of receipt. He looked at 2 launch tracks, 2 impact area projections, a 4-minute and 12-second intercept window to the first projected warhead arrival. He made 3 calls in 8 seconds. First, to his TAO, BMD engage, both tracks, SM-2 Block IIIA primary, SM-6 backup on track alpha. Second, to his EW officer, jam the Khalij Fars seeker frequencies, full power, all variants in the library. Third, to the officer of the deck, all ahead flank, come right to 090, execute immediately. The course change, due east, perpendicular to the inbound bearing, was not evasion in the sense of outrunning the missiles. No surface ship outruns a ballistic missile. It was targeting solution invalidation, moving the ship laterally across the inbound bearing to maximize the angular displacement from the targeting solution's predicted impact point by the time the Khalij Fars terminal seekers activated their search modes. The SM-2 Block IIIA is the surface-to-air missile variant equipped with an active radar seeker in the terminal phase. The configuration that enables it to conduct engagements against ballistic missile reentry vehicles descending at high velocity through the terminal phase of their trajectory. The SM-2 Block IIIA is not the SM-3 Block IIA, which conducts mid-course intercepts above the atmosphere. The SM-3 was not aboard Porter tonight. The SM-3 is a large missile optimized for mid-course intercept at exoatmospheric altitudes, and its size limits how many an Arleigh Burke can carry in a patrol load. The SM-2 Block IIIA conducts its intercept in the terminal phase, lower, faster in the atmosphere, using a different engagement geometry than the SM-3, but one that is entirely valid against a Khalij Fars re-entry vehicle descending toward a surface ship at hypersonic speed. The first SM-2 Block IIIA launched from Porter at 2:18:17 a.m., 44 seconds after the first Khalij Fars launch and 3 minutes and 36 seconds before the first projected warhead arrival in the ship's vicinity. The Aegis fire control system was tracking the first Khalij Fars re-entry vehicle as it separated from the booster and began its terminal descent. The track was clean. The AN/SPY 1DV's ballistic missile defense mode was providing precise position, velocity, and trajectory data, updated on every radar scan, feeding the fire control algorithm a continuously refined intercept solution that compensated in real time for every nuance of the reentry vehicle's descent trajectory. The second SM-2 Block IIIA launched 6 seconds after the first, targeted at the second Khalij Fars track. The Aegis fire control system managed both engagements simultaneously, allocating illuminator resources, maintaining separate track files, computing independent intercept solutions without any degradation in either engagement's fire control quality. The system was not stressed. It was operating well within its designed performance envelope. The AN/SLQ 32 electronic warfare system had been transmitting jamming energy on the full set of frequencies associated with Khalij Fars terminal seeker variants since 2:17:53 a.m., 12 seconds after the first launch detection. The jamming was pre-configured from the threat library that the 5th Fleet Intelligence Advisory had flagged, covering electro-optical seeker countermeasures in the relevant infrared wavebands, as well as active radar jamming across the frequency range the intelligence community assessed as associated with the Khalij Fars radar seeker variant. The jamming was not experimental. It was not improvised. It was the product of years of signals intelligence collection on the Khalij Fars' development and test program, translated into specific countermeasure configurations, loaded into the AN/SLQ-32's operational library, and available to the watch team at the push of a button. The EW officer pushed that button at 2:17:53 a.m., and from that moment forward, any Khalij Fars terminal seeker that activated its search mode in the vicinity of USS Porter was going to be searching in an electromagnetic environment specifically designed to produce false targets, bearing errors, and range inaccuracies that would translate into misdistances measured in hundreds of meters at a minimum. The first Khalij Fars reentry vehicle was eliminated at 2:21:28 a.m. The SM-2 Block IIIA intercept occurred at an altitude of 8,400 meters, well above the ocean surface, in the final seconds of the reentry vehicle's terminal descent, at a closing velocity that produced an intercept energy sufficient to structurally compromise the warhead bus and prevent warhead function, even in the event of proximity rather than direct impact. The intercept was confirmed by the AN/SPY-1DV radar, which tracked the debris field expanding outward from the intercept point and confirmed the absence of any coherent ballistic track continuing toward the surface. Track Alpha eliminated. The second Khalij Fars reentry vehicle was eliminated at 2:21:36 a.m., 8 seconds after the first, reflecting the 8-second stagger in the original launch sequence, preserved through the flight. The SM-2 Block IIIA intercept occurred at 7,900 meters altitude, the slight difference in intercept altitude reflecting the second missile's marginally different trajectory. The debris field confirmed. Track Bravo eliminated. 2 Khalij Fars re-entry vehicles. 2 SM-2 Block IIIA intercepts. Total time from first launch detection to second intercept confirmation: 3 minutes and 55 seconds. USS Porter had traveled 1.4 nautical miles east from her pre-maneuver position during the engagement, enough lateral displacement that the Khalij Fars targeting solutions, built on her position at 2:17 a.m., would have been invalid even if the terminal seekers had activated in a clean electromagnetic environment. In the jamming environment, the AN/SLQ-32 was maintaining. the terminal seekers would have activated into a wall of countermeasure energy before they could build any coherent target picture. The commanding officer looked at the 2 terminated tracks on his tactical display at 2:21:40 a.m. He looked at his ship's current position and heading. He looked at the time. He picked up his coffee, which had gone cold during the engagement, and set it back down. Both tracks confirmed eliminated, the TAO reported. No residual contacts. Jamming standing by. He acknowledged the report. He authorized a gradual return to the original patrol course and speed. He picked up the handset connecting him to 5th Fleet headquarters in Bahrain and delivered his post-engagement report in a tone that the duty officer at 5th Fleet would later describe in his own post-watch notes as remarkably similar to the tone a contractor uses when calling to confirm a scheduled maintenance appointment had been completed. The intelligence package from the engagement was catalogued while the watch team was still at battle stations. The SBIRS data had captured both launches with complete thermal signature profiles. The Fateh 110 booster's motor burn duration, the separation event timing, the re-entry vehicle's thermal bloom during terminal descent. The AN/SPY-1DV's track data had captured the complete trajectory of both Khalij Fars re-entry vehicles from first radar acquisition through intercept, flight path angles, terminal descent velocities, re-entry vehicle maneuver data if any was present, the precise altitude at which the radar return changed character in ways consistent with terminal seeker activation. The AN/SLQ-32's collection during the jamming evolution had captured any seeker emission that activated during the terminal phase. Evidence of whether the seeker engaged, how it responded to the jamming environment, what countermeasure configuration was most effective. All of it packaged, time-stamped, and transmitted to 5th Fleet Intelligence within 22 minutes of the second intercept. Iran's ballistic missile program has received enormous international attention and considerable diplomatic effort directed at constraining its development. The Khalij Fars represents a specific application of that program to the anti-ship mission, an attempt to use the speed and trajectory of a ballistic missile to overcome the defensive limitations of the surface-to-air missile systems that protect American warships against more conventional threats. The logic is sound in principle. A ballistic missile descending at hypersonic velocity gives a defender less time to react than a subsonic cruise missile, and the hypersonic terminal speed makes the intercept geometry more demanding than a slower target. These are real operational challenges that real engineers have spent real careers trying to solve on the American defensive side. What the Khalij Fars' designers underestimated is the cumulative effect of the American investment in the solution to exactly this problem. SBIRS detecting the launch at 8 seconds and providing 4 minutes of warning. The AN/SPY-1DV's BMD mode, tracking the re-entry vehicle from its first radar detectable moment through intercept. The SM-2 Block IIIA's active radar seeker, conducting a terminal intercept against a hypersonic target in the atmosphere. The AN/SLQ-32, jamming the terminal seeker frequencies before any seeker could build a target picture. The ship's lateral evasion invalidating the targeting solution for any terminal seeker that might survive the jamming environment. Each element is individually significant. Together, they constitute a defensive architecture that is, against the Khalij Fars at its current level of development, comprehensive. Iran spent the better part of a decade developing the Khalij Fars. It announced the weapon with the confidence of an engineering team that had solved a hard problem. It fired 2 of them at an American destroyer in the Persian Gulf at 2:17 a.m. and watched the Aegis combat system eliminate both warheads at 8,000 meters altitude with 8 seconds of intercept separation and 0 residual threat to the ship or her crew. The Persian Gulf is not an Iranian weapons proving ground. It is international water, and the American ships that have been operating in it for 4 uninterrupted decades have been preparing for exactly this kind of engagement for longer than the Khalij Fars has existed. 2 missiles launched, 2 intercepted at altitude, 1 American destroyer, course unchanged, patrol resumed. Crew eating breakfast by 3:15 a.m. Bye for now.